Hi ladies and gentlemen, coming from the gym. This is probably the weirdest video because I'm doing this video on the bicycle. So anyways, so I hope you're all doing really well, okay? This video is going to be pretty short. I'm not going to make it too long, okay? But basically I wanted to talk to you about the things in your life, you know, and the things that you value, that you place value on, you know. So oftentimes, right, we value the things that aren't even that important in the grand scheme of things, you know, things, material things, right? So houses, cars, you know, trips, right? But what we often don't think about is, what does it take to get there, and how will you feel when you're already at the top? Oftentimes, a lot of us have, you know, gained those things in a very bad way, basically, right? We had to steal, we had to, I don't know, kill, steal, destroy, right? And then at the end of the day, because you have a consciousness, right? Because you have a conscious, when you get to the top, financially speaking, you do not feel good about having all of those things. So you end up depressed, you end up with a completely destroyed mental health, right? It's kind of like this, right? A lot of parents, for example, in the Silicon Valley, they push their children to perform, right? Physically speaking, to study, right? To get really good grades because they want them to end up in Stanford, right? Or in Ivy League schools. And so they end up pushing those children beyond their limits, right? They end up stressing them out mentally. And so at the end of the day, right, a lot of these kids, when they get to the top, yeah, they might get into Stanford, but at what cost? You know, the cost is usually their mental health, right? You guys, I had a roommate, okay, and he was a Stanford grad, and he was Googling how to kill your parents, you know? And he ended up being taken away in an ambulance because he was trying to kill us, basically. Our roommates, you know, his roommates. So it was a really crazy and scary experience, you know, but, you know, what it taught me is that, you know, basically, you have to think about the things that you are giving up in order to get the material, right? In order to get the possessions, you know. And also, just so you guys know, okay, everything comes with a cost. Everything has two sides, always, okay? And so, you know, just think about a house, for example, right, guys? Like, one would think, okay, a house with a swimming pool, it's amazing, right? Like, what's not to like? Everybody wants that, right? But at the end of the day, guys, we got that, we had that, okay? As a family, we had it. My mom had it, right? And so when we moved to America, we had that. But guess what? That house, you end up working for that house. It doesn't work for you, you end up working for it. And the reason being is because there's the insurance to pay for, right? There's the maintenance, right? You have to trim the bushes around it. You have to keep it up. You have to clean the house, which takes a long time, right? Because it's so big. Then you have to clean the pool, right? You have to take care of everything, which takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy, right? And a lot of your time. So, you know, but of course, if you have an excess amount of money, right? That you have a big excess, right? You can hire people to do that for you, right? But at the same time, you know, at the same time, right, like I said, you still have to, like, for example, worry about the thieves, right? You have to worry about the security, your own security, right? Especially nowadays, and depending in the area that you're living in, right? So there's like so much to think about when it comes to this, right? So most people don't consider this, you know. For example, also, right, if the house is not entirely yours, maybe you have to work a lot, right? You have to spend a significant amount of your time and energy at work just in order to keep that house, right? So if you haven't paid off the mortgage yet, right? And so you have to think about the opportunity cost, I suppose, right? In business they call it the opportunity cost, but what are you going to give up in order to gain something, right? So there's always a cost, right? If you want a hot woman, if you want a hot man, physically speaking, right? Are you willing to, because you're not the only one that's going to want them, right? So, and they're going to have a lot of attention, right? And in turn, they're probably also they're getting addicted to this attention, right? If they don't have enough self-love for themselves. So they're always going to want to be the center of attention, right? So do you really want to do that? Do you want to be with someone who is like this, right? Who is, do you want to worry and stress out about, do you want to worry and stress out about them potentially being snatched away from you? I'm not saying every woman and every man is like this, right? Some beautiful, physically attractive women and men are very, loyal, right? So it depends on the person, right? But still, there's that, right? So are you secure enough to watch them get hit on nonstop, to get asked out nonstop, are you secure enough for that, right? So there's that, right? So there are always two sides to everything, right? Like people with a lot of, for example, most people think they want to be famous, right? But are you ready for are you ready to lose your freedom for it, right? Just imagine every time someone sees your face, they want to say hi to you. They want to talk to you. They don't even know you, right? But they pretend like you do. Are you ready to get stalked and harassed? And some people will hate you, right? Some people will project their own inner qualities onto you, right? Some people will pretend like they know you already when in fact they don't, right? So fame brings a lot of trouble, a lot of issues, because you lose your freedom, and your freedom is everything when it comes down to it. For me personally, it is, So being famous, a lot of perks might come with it, right? But are these perks really worth it, right? Like a lot of celebrities end up being extremely miserable because they're constantly harassed. They cannot go outside without being recognized, They can't spend any time just alone on their own, right? Everyone just always stops them. They want to take a picture with them, right? And so the cost is your freedom. The cost is really your peace, right? And so, it's no wonder a lot of them probably end up moving to islands, to their own islands, I would do that if I was famous, and so, because I wouldn't want to be bombarded nonstop, guys. I got a taste of fame, right, when I was modeling, and it was terrible. People see you, but they don't really see you. They don't see the real you. They see the glamour. They see the fame that you come with, right? And so they see the image of you, not the person, not the soul behind this facade, right? Anyways, guys, and so just think about the cost just think about what you're doing. Think about, for example, if you take OnlyFans, right? A lot of women are doing that nowadays just for that, right? For money. But just knowing from myself, in the past, right? I had great places, I had even a great car, right, that I wanted, and once again, it always came with the cost, okay? The cost is usually, I had to pay the cost with my internal qualities, okay, or external too, with a lot of jealousy from other people, with a lot of hate, right? Some people would key my car, I would get a lot of dirty stares, dirty looks, really mean looks, so there was always that, right? And so just really think about the cost that you're going to pay, okay? A lot of women nowadays, they're doing OnlyFans, right? And okay, they might be getting the financial gains from it, right? But they're paying with their dignity. They're paying with their self-confidence. Okay, these women are not self-confident. And in turn, right, when you're not self-confident, you're looking to change yourself externally, right? So a lot of them start doing their lips, a lot of them start getting plastic surgery, right? But still, it's never enough. And little do they realize, right? They don't understand that it's the internal that has to change. It's their confidence that has to change. And in order to change your confidence, to improve it, you have to stop destroying yourself. You have to stop doing the things that you hate and that are making you lose your self-worth and your self-confidence, you know. So always think about these things, you know. It's better to be broke, financially broke, than to give up your inner qualities. They're priceless. Once you have them, you can always keep them if you want to, and you know, you will always feel rich, no matter how much money you have, you know, because that's actually what makes you feel rich. It's your inner positive qualities that you worked on and that you developed, you know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on this.